Hey guys, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to help you with task number 3, which is calculating the slope, and task number 4, which is calculating the midpoint. I am using my cell phone to record this video, and I'm trying to write, talk, and hold this thing kind of steady, so bear with me. Okay. Hope you guys are doing good, by the way. Task 3, calculating the slope. I'm going to read you what this asked me to do. So I'm going to go through this. I got to find the slope from the help center to the water slide. And before I do that, I need to get my points from task 2. Here's task 2 again. I need the order pairs, which are my coordinates. So if you can see the help center and water slide number 1, that was the very first thing it asked me to find, the slope from the help center to water slide number 1. And I got these coordinates, again, task 2, I got these coordinates from my example. And this is my example. Please pay no attention to the scribble going on here. I must have left this out last night. My daughter got a hold of it and started scribbling on it. It kind of looks like a hashtag number 1, just like her daddy. So pay no attention to that scribble. So I am sorry about that. And again, this is just an example. This is my example. Yours is going to look a little bit different. I randomly put the security desk, lazy river, water slides, just randomly all over my paper, okay? So yours is going to look a little bit different than mine, but here is an example of mine. So it asked me to use a red pen and draw a straight line from the help center to water slide number 1. Okay, and I have these coordinates, again, written down from task 2. And again, I need these coordinates. So let me go to task 3 now. Now I can start this task. Let's find the slope from the help center to water slide number 1. Well, the help center, there's my help center. The help center's order pair was 2, 2. So I wrote those down here. 2, 2. I labeled them x1, y1. Then I go back to task 2 and I find the water slide number 1 coordinates. Water slide number 1 coordinate was 8, 15. 8, 15. So I wrote 8, 15 and I labeled those x2, y2. Using this formula up top, y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1, I plug in my knowns, my x1, my x2s, my y1s, my y2s. So when I plug those in, my y2 was 15. So 15 minus, because that's always the sign is minus, 15 minus 2. And then I'm going to have in my denominator 8 minus 2. 15 minus 2 is 13, 8 minus 2 is 6, and then I divide those. 13 divided by 6 is 2.2. So one of two ways you guys can leave this. You can write it as an improper fraction or a fraction itself. You can leave it as 13 over 6, or you can write the actual digits out if you'd like. Personally, I prefer slopes being left as a fraction, just because, now if you told me, hey, your slope is 2.2, that's great and everything, and it makes a lot of sense to me, like, oh yeah, I know the slope is 2.2, but for me to actually graph 2.2 is hard. Like, how much do I go up and over? This little 0.2's messing me up, so it makes it a little bit more tricky to physically graph 2.2. But if you leave it as a fraction, 13 over 6, well, we all know how to graph this. This is just rise over run. So I know I'm rising 13, and then I'm running to the right 6, which makes it more manageable to actually graph that on a graph paper. So that's why I prefer to leave it as 13 over 6, but you will not be marked wrong if you wrote 2.2, okay? Any way you want is fine by me. I did also give you an example of the toddler area to concessions. So the toddler area to concessions, let's go back to my graph. So here is my toddler center, and then my concessions is up here. So I need to draw a red line from my toddler center all the way to my concessions. And then when I do that, I'm going to find the slope of that line. So let's go to the toddler center. The toddler center looks like the toddler center is at 15, -3. My concessions is going to be from -6 to 8. So back on my space to do my work, I labeled 15, -3 and -6, 8. The toddler area and the concessions. I labeled those x1, y1, x2, y2, and then I plugged them into this formula up top here. So you have to be careful with this one, just because I'm going to have a double sign here. So I have 8 minus, it's 8 minus -3. And remember, 8 minus -3, those double signs turn into a positive. So it's really 8 plus 3. 8 plus 3 is 11. Then I do my denominator, which are my x2 minus x1. x2 was -6, x1 was 15. -6 minus 15 is -21. When you divide those, 11 divided by -21, you get -0.52. And again, you can leave it as a decimal, or you can leave it as a fraction. And again, I prefer fractions, but I will not take off if you wrote it as a decimal. Okay, you're going to continue that example from the gift shop to the restroom, security desk to water slide number 2, and then so forth. If you guys need any help with task 3, please let me know. I'm going to continue this video still. I'm just going to go right on into task number 4. So let me get this paper away. Here is task number 4. And when I did this, I noticed I made a little mistake on task number 4. So we're going to have to fix it together. Let me read you the directions. So Sally Toodles is meeting her mom at the halfway point between the attractions listed above. They have asked you to calculate their meeting spots by applying the midpoint formula. And again, I wrote the midpoint formula down here for you. It wasn't given to you, but if you did a quick Google search, just Googled midpoint formula, anything that pops up is going to be accurate for the midpoint formula, and that's exactly what I did. And I just wrote down the formula for here. And again, it's x1 plus x2 divided by 2, comma, y1 plus y2 divided by 2. The nice thing about midpoint formula is that it spits out an ordered pair for you. This is not going to give you like a number like the slope did, like 2.2 or 13.6, stuff like this, or 13 over 6, I mean. So it's not going to give you an integer, a fraction, any kind of number here, but it's going to give me an ordered pair, okay? And the first one I'm going to do is the help center to water slide number 1. Well, what I did on my paper, I wrote down 416, which was water slide number 2, not water slide number 1. So I'm going to fix this. I'm going to go on the back of this. Yes, I am. I'm going to do the example on the back of this. So what did I want again? I wanted help center to water slide 1. So I'm just going to label this as help center, and then I want water slide number 1. I'll just abbreviate that. So the help center was 2, 2, 2, 2. The water slide number 1 was 8, 15. Okay, and then I'm going to label these. Okay, so I'm going to have x1, y1, x2, y2, because ordered pairs are written as x, y's. Now I'm going to find the midpoint. Here's the formula. It was x1 plus x2 divided by 2, comma, nope, I don't want that there. Sorry. y1 plus y2 divided by 2, and then I close the parentheses. So again, it's going to spit out an ordered pair for me. So when I plug these in, I get x1, my x sub 1 was 2, so 2 plus my x sub 2 was 8 divided by 2, comma, my y sub 1, which was also 2, plus my y sub 2, which was 15, and I'm going to divide that by 2. And then I clean these up again. So my midpoint is 2 plus 8 is 10. 10 divided by 2 is 5, comma, 2 plus 15 is 17. 17 divided by 2 is 8.5. And again, the midpoint from the help center to water slide number 1 coordinate is going to be 5, 8.5. So let's go over to my graph paper here. So I know that the midpoint of this help center to the water slide's coordinate was 5, 8.5. So the 5 is the x, so I go over to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I go up to 8.5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and a half. Put a point, and that is where, if I go back to my directions, that is where Sally Toodles is going to meet her mom at 5, 8.5. Okay? And you're going to continue to do that example from each one. Let's look at another one here. I'm going to do 2. Let's look at the toddler area 2 concessions. Okay, so I'm going to write the coordinates down for the toddler area. The toddler area is 15, -3, 15, -3, and then the concessions looks like it's -6 and then 8. -6 and 8. Hang tight with me again. I know I'm holding this phone as I'm trying to write, and it's kind of difficult. Okay, again, I label them x1, y1, x2, y2. I'm going to use this formula up top. I'm going to plug them in. So I'm going to find the midpoint. Okay, x1 is 15. So I'm going to have 15 plus -6 divided by 2, comma, my y1, which is -3, plus 8. Divide that by 2. Okay, let's see what this cleans up. So I'm going to have 15 minus 6. 15 minus 6 is 9. 9 divided by 2 is 4.5. And again, if they don't give you nice decimals, if they give you like weird decimals, like, I don't know, like 3.6275, let's just make it 3.6. Let's just round to the nearest tenth and make it easy on ourselves. Let's do the y coordinate. -3 plus 8. -3 plus 8 is 5. 5 divided by 2 is 2.5. So my ordered pair, or my midpoint between the toddler area and the concessions, is going to be 4.5, 2.5. Okay? So if I go back to my paper, again, I would need a red line from the concessions to the toddler center, and I can't draw that right now just because I'm holding my phone. I won't be able to draw a straight line. I need a straight edge, like a ruler or something, to do that. But I know that this coordinate is going to be 4.5, 2.5. So I'm going to go over to 4.5, 1, 2, 3, 4.5, and then I'm going to go up to 2.5, 1, 2.5. So it's almost going to be right on my R where I wrote the help center. So if I do connect the line from concessions all the way to toddler center, this little dot here is going to be the midpoint of that location. And then there's my math for that. Okay? Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope that helped you a little bit. Remember, I will post tomorrow the start of task number 5 and task number 6 for the water park project number 2. Please stay up on these. If you need anything, let me know. You can send me a text on Remind, or you guys can send me an email or a little chat on Google Classroom. I will upload these videos to Google Classroom very, very shortly. Hope you enjoy your Monday. Got my coffee, got my ESPN on, even though there's no sports. Miss you guys like crazy. I'll talk to you soon. All right, guys. Love you. Bye.